All right, so I'm going to look at the currencies today. I'm going to do a more in-depth report for the SMT subscribers. So if you want to uh, get a more in-depth report and how this relates to gold, I'll put the information in the description down below on how to subscribe to the nightly SMT newsletter. But so let's start off. So this is the euro, and this should be the controlling currency because the euro is in a bull market, dollar is in a bear market. So by that I mean that the advancing phase of the controlling currency should be the controlling factor. So if the euro is in a right translated intermediate cycle, it'll make the dollar cycle probably stretch. That's what I'm talking about. So we're starting the counter trend move. Obviously, this is our first daily cycle, and we're moving down into the daily cycle low right now. I doubt that this is over in 3 days. It did manage to push the RSI to oversold, and usually in the advancing phase of an intermediate cycle, price will rally pretty quickly from an oversold condition. However, I think 3 days is probably too quick for this to be over with. I think the euro is probably going to form some kind of a little flag here and then have one more leg down. The Fibonacci retracement of this move, here I'll put the Fibonacci's on there. All right, so usually I like to see at least a 38% Fibonacci retracement on any cycle, whether it be daily or intermediate. So I doubt that this is going to bottom here at this 23% retracement. I suspect, we may have another update tomorrow, and then at some point, I think we're probably going to come down and test this 38% retracement here around almost, well, about 21-ish before this daily cycle correction is complete. But this is only the first daily cycle. Once this is done, there's going to be a second daily cycle, and there's a lot of momentum to this move. So I'm about 99% positive that once this corrective move is done, the second daily cycle is going to make a higher high, and here's why. All right. At this point, price is close enough to this major resistance zone here at about 125, almost 126, that I think this is going to act like a magnet, pulling price higher. And I really doubt that this intermediate cycle is going to top until we get to this resistance here at about, like I said, about 126. So I think buyers are going to start buying here pretty soon. Once this correction has run its course, I think this momentum that started here will resume, and I think we're going to probably test this resistance zone before this larger intermediate cycle tops. Moving on to the dollar, we've got the inverse. Again, price did get overbought on the RSI, but I think 3 days is probably too quickly for this to end. And again, the obvious trigger event is the inauguration on the 20th, but very often these things they'll kind of front run a trigger event. So I suspect that we'll probably get our top in this little counter trend rally either Monday or Tuesday. I don't know that it'll make it all the way to Wednesday, but I do think this is probably going to turn out to be some kind of a little flag, and we'll have one more move up before rolling over. And then now let me go to the long-term chart here as well. All right, so you can see kind of in the same boat as the euro. I think price is close enough to this major support zone at this point that the shorts are going to pile back on again once we complete this counter trend bounce. I think the shorts will pile back in again, and they're going to drive this down to at least test this major support zone right here around 88, and that's probably where we will get most of the shorts will cover, and then that's going to give us probably our next intermediate degree rally, something that looks more like this, and maybe even a little more sustained than this one was. Again, I'm going to cover this in a lot more detail and how it relates to the metals over the next few days in my report for the SMT subscribers. And again, I'll put that I'll put a link to subscribe to the newsletter in the description below.